Hello and welcome in this Boeum IT webinar. In this webinar, I will show you how Produmex WMS allows to manage the combination of batch and serial numbers. Before I start the webinar, first allow me to tell you a few things about Boeum IT and Produmex as a company. Boeum IT was founded in Denmark in 1997 and is headquartered there in the neighborhood of Aarhus. Currently, the company has subsidiaries and sales offices around the world, and it has been a certified SAP partner since 2004. Currently, the company employs more than 140 employees globally. Boeum IT is 100% focused on sub-business 1. As far as Produmex is concerned, Produmex was founded in Belgium in 2004 and has been a sub-business 1 partner since 2006. Produmex offers certified logistics add-on solutions for sub-business 1 and was acquired by Boeum IT in April 2018. The Produmex portfolio is now an integral part of the Boeum IT solution portfolio for sub-business 1. If we look at the positioning of the Boeum solution portfolio, if we have a look at the SMB market, we of course have sub-business 1 as the core application for that. But on top of that, Boeum offers a number of add-on solutions. First, there is the Boeum generic solutions that can be used across various domains and various industries. Then we have a lightweight manufacturing solution with Produmex Operator that extends sub-business 1 on a mobile device in production. For medium complex environments, we have the Produmex manufacturing solution, and for advanced manufacturing environments, we have the BS manufacturing solution. On the logistics side, Boeum offers a lightweight entry-level scanning application with Produmex Scan, which extends sub-business 1 functions to the warehouse shop floor. And we have the advanced warehouse management solution, Produmex WMS, that I'm going to show you today. Produmex WMS is an industry-focused solution which has a strong foothold in the regulated industries. It is focused on warehousing and distribution, but it also offers some functions to enable production and packaging. It's very important to note that the system is completely compliant with the GS1 industry standards. Example industries in which the Produmex WMS solution is implemented are wholesale, food and beverage, industrial and consumer goods, pharmaceuticals and nutraceuticals, and third-party logistics. Here you have an overview of the extensive function set of Produmex WMS. It offers, as I told you, a number of extensive and advanced logistics functions and some production functions. I'm not going into detail on this, but these functions will be illustrated and demonstrated to you in other webinars throughout the year. As I told you, Produmex WMS is fully compliant with the GS1 industry standards, and you will also see that during the demonstration, how we use standards like, for instance, the SSCC, the Serial Shipment Container Code, which is used to identify logistic units, how we use the Global Trade Item Number to identify products, and how we use the GS1 barcodes to have concatenated information that can be recognized and interpreted by scanners. Now let's turn to the topic of today, namely the use of combined batch information and serial numbers in industry. First, which are affected industries for this application area? So the application area for this is mainly in regulated industries like the life sciences, food and beverage, or consumer electronics. Why should we implement a system that can support both batch numbers and serial numbers at the same time. One of the major reasons is that of consumer or patient safety. There is a necessity to comply with legal obligations, and companies have to ensure full traceability up to the individual serialized item within a batch, up to the final point of dispensing, for instance, in a pharmacy where a patient picks up his medicine. There is also the need to comply with requirements of customers. For instance, in China, there is now a very stringent regulation on the import of milk powder for children, where not only batch information is required, but also individual serialized numbers for each item that is distributed in this area. And then there is also, of course, the fighting of counterfeit products, which is a huge problem in industries, and which manufacturers also try to prevent by making use of serialized numbers. All this means that there is a requirement to put systems in place to manage batch managed and serialized items throughout inbound and outbound inventory management and throughout production, to register the required traceability information in those process steps, and then to produce and submit the required regulatory reporting. How can we comply with this? Well, on the one hand, we have the tracking capabilities that have to be provided by solutions, which means they have to be able to track all movements of goods through the specified stage of an extended supply chain based on batch information and serial numbers. If it comes to serialization, this means that these systems will have to be capable to assign and apply unique product identifiers to individual packs or products which can be tracked and traced. And then when it comes to tracing, these systems have to be able to identify a specific item within the supply chain at any given period. This traces the ownership and the transaction among trading partners. In this way, such systems will support full tracking and tracing across the supply chain. In the demo that I will show to you now, we will go over a number of aspects in this respect. First, I will take you through a few configuration settings related to item master data extensions for batch managed and serialized items. Then I will take you through the inbound logistics of batch managed and serialized items, the goods receipt and the put away. Then I will take you through the outbound logistics process of batch managed and serialized items, the order picking and the picking and packing. And finally, I will show you how, based on this, we can achieve full traceability of batch managed and serialized items. Let us now have a look how this is set up and functions in the system. Here you see the two phases of the Produmex WMS application for Sub-Business 1. On the one hand, we have here an administrative module in which the administrative warehouse management functions can be executed by supervisory staff. And on the other hand, we have got here the RF terminal on which you can execute the functions in the warehouse. So first, let me briefly show you the structure that we can define within the Produmex WMS application, where we have here at the highest level the Sub-Business 1 database, or company database that has been defined, and underneath that we can then define the warehouses in Sub-Business 1. So all these warehouses are sub-business one warehouses, and we establish a link through them in this organizational structure. Now, Produmex WMS does not use the sub-business one bin location because of the fact that the sub-business one bin locations currently do not support advanced logistics manipulations. So underneath the warehouse in sub-business one, we have created our own structure. And such a structure can consist of a number of zones that we define. For instance, here we have our receiving and shipping docks. It can consist of storage locations in picking zones. So here we have a picking zone, and in that picking zone we can define a number of aisles, and in those aisles we can then define also the storage locations for particular products. And storage locations can be free, which means this is a location where we can store whatever product we want. And here we have a storage location where we have limited the location to one particular product. So here you see that this storage location is only available for this particular product. And there we can then define maximum quantities that can be stored at the location, minimum quantities that have to be at the location, and replenishment quantities to fetch stock from another location and bring it to this location. Also in this structure we can define, for instance, a packing zone, which we will also use in the demo that I will be showing you. And in that packing zone we can define picking cards, so on which we are going to pick the goods. We can have a packing line where we are going to execute the packing operation, and we can have a packing station where we register the packing operations. So this is a very brief overview of the organizational structure, but it is necessary for you to understand how the locations that we will be using throughout the demo are fit together. So let us now look at a few specific item master data extensions that are related to batch management and serialized item management. So if we look at the item master data in sub-business one, and we go look for a particular product. Okay, so here we have got the product in question. And if you look at the product, you will notice that we have here the General tab. And what you see on the General tab is that here we have created the possibility to manage this item not only by batches, but also by serial numbers. So here, Produmex offers the combination of batch numbers and serial numbers, whereas in sub-business one, you only have the choice between batch numbers or serial numbers. So here we offer the combination, and we also indicate here that for this particular product we will also track the location of the serial numbers, and we have defined a specific serial number format. So the system can then also check on the validity of the serial number. So if we go to tools, we have a number of default forms where we can specify specific Produmex characteristics, and one of those characteristics is also that we can define here the serial number format. So here you see that we have a number of possible serial number formats, namely serial 1, which is the one for this product, which consists of the letters A, B, C, and then 10 figures between 0 and 9. Upon receiving this product, the system will also check that the serial numbers comply with the format that we have specified here. Now in the item master data, we also have a specific Produmex tab where we can specify a number of other parameters for this product. For instance, here the zone type in which this product needs to be stored, its standard location. We can define also the expiry definition. So when we receive this product, the system will assume automatically that it will have a specific expiry date. We can use shelf life for reception and shelf life for delivery. Then at that moment, or based on those settings, the system will decide whether or not it is possible to deliver a specific product to a specific customer. Okay, so this for the item master data extensions. So let us now proceed with the inbound logistics process of batch managed and serialized items. So let us create a purchase order for such a product. So let us select our vendor here. So we have our pharma supplier here, and we are going to order from this supplier the product. Okay, so we are going to select this product here, which is a batch managed and serialized managed product, and we are going to order 50 boxes of this product from our vendor. So we add the purchase order. Okay, and so the moment that it is added, so you see the purchase order, we can start the goods receipt in the warehouse. So we go on to our RF terminal, where we have the 4 main flows that are supported by Produmex WMS, namely the inbound logistics flow from purchase to goods receipt and put away, the outbound logistics flow from a sales order to pick list and picking and packing, the logistics flow, so internal logistics, and we also have a link to production where this is appropriate for users of the system. So if we go onto the purchase tab, we have a sub-menu where we see then the various possibilities. So here we're going to start off with a reception of the product. So we click on reception, and now the system shows me the receiving docs that are eligible for receiving goods. So let's assume that we take our receiving doc 1 here. And then we can select the filter based on which we're going to execute the goods receipt. So we can do that based on scanning the barcodes, and then the system will try to link the barcodes to a purchase order. We can go through the purchase order. Also, if there is no reference to a purchase order, we can still receive the goods. And we also have the possibility to do container reception. So containers containing various, several purchase orders. So in this case, we're going through the order. And here we see the order that we have just created. So we select the purchase order. And then the system asks us whether we are going to receive identical logistic units or no identical logistic units. Suppose that we would be receiving a number of pallets of a particular product, all containing the same product of the same best before date and the same batch number. Then we could speed up the receiving process by specifying that we're going to receive identical logistic units. Now in this case, we're only going to receive one logistic unit containing 50 boxes. So we say no identical logistic units, and then again the system asks to scan the barcode. So the barcodes always prevail. So if there is a barcode that can be scanned, that is always what the system suggests. But there is also always a problem, the possibility, if there is no label on the logistic unit, to enter the information manually. And so here I click on no label, then I can scan the product, or I can select it, and the system will show me then which product is available in this purchase order. So this is the product. The system will now generate a batch number for it. So this is auto-generated because the system is currently configured like that. It will ask me for a best before date, and it has automatically added the default expiry date to the date of today, and so it proposes now this best before date. And then it asks me to select the method for entering the quantity. So what I can do here is now I can specify each individual number, each individual serial number. I can specify a range of serial numbers, or I also have the possibility to receive the goods in stock without serial numbers and only assign the serial numbers the moment that I'm going to deliver them to the customer. Now in this case I'm going to do it based on a range. So I click on serial numbers range, and now normally I scan the first serial number and then the last serial number, but in this case I will type it. And so we have a serial number consisting of ABC, then 10 digits. So that's 2018 100001. That's the first number. Let me see, 2018 1050. Okay, so I enter this, and the system now asks me to confirm that I have entered 50 serial numbers. Is this correct? Yes, this matches what we have in our purchase order. Click on yes, and I now receive the goods. So the system will now book the goods in inventory, and it will generate, as you see here, it will generate a goods receipt label, which on the one hand contains the SACC. So this is the identification, the unique identification of this logistic unit. And here it has captured in barcode format all the data that I have registered during the receiving process, namely the global trade item number. So 02 indicates this is a global trade item number. 15 indicates this is a best before date, so it is the 5th of April 2021. 37 indicates the number of products, 50, and 10 is the batch number. So all that information is now represented in barcoded format. Okay, so if we now look at sub-business 1, we can ask for a goods receipt. So if we call up the goods receipt here, you see that we have now booked a goods receipt based on this purchase order, and that we have these serial numbers that I have just entered here in my inventory. Okay. So in order to be able to track and trace the location of inventory in real time, we have a specific inventory report in Produmex WMS. So if I now say I want to have an inventory report of this product here, so of my Nero Stim box, and I look for the inventory of that product, the system will now show me that indeed this is the stock that I have available in my warehouse, and it will also show me here that I have indeed received a batch of this product, and it's still located on my receiving dock. And also here in this report I can ask for the serial numbers that go with this particular logistic unit. So here you also see now the serial numbers. Now, in the way that the system is currently has currently been set up, the system has now generated automatically a put away assignment, and so it will now tell me that I need to put away a product into the warehouse. So if I look what is there to be put away from my receiving dock, it will now show me here that there are two logistic units that need to be put away, but here we have got the logistic unit that we have just received. So I now scan the SACC. So let me simulate that. Okay, so I scan the SACC, and the system will then ask me to select a location where I'm going to put this product. Now it tells me here that the default location for this product is P0036, but I can select another location, and if that location is allowed, the system will allow me to put it there. Or I can also ask the system to select an empty location for me, and it tells me, okay, location B0038 is still empty, so you can put it there if you want. Okay, so I select that one. I have moved it now, and if I now refresh my report, you will now see that it is indeed registered here that this product is now located at the storage location B0038. Okay, so that was the demonstration of the inbound logistics process. Let us now proceed with the outbound logistics process. And before I do that, let me show you a few labels that I have created, and that I will use to demonstrate how the system will work when we have a barcode scanner connected to it. So here you see the label of the item, and this label contains in barcoded format the identification of the product, its best before date, and so the 7th of June 2019, and its batch number. And here I have also a number of barcodes that represent serial numbers that I can use to select the products that I'm going to pick. Okay, so let us now proceed. I'm now going to create a sales order. So I select my customer, and for my customer I'm going to take here my pharmacy. Okay, so I'm going to select now the item. Okay, and I'm going to order or sell 10 boxes of this product to my customer. Okay, so I have added the sales order now. Now, in order to be able to pick this product, I now need to create a pick list proposal. So I'm just first going to check whether I've got sufficient quantity available for this product, and it tells me that we indeed have here the required quantity. So it says that the ordered quantity is 10, and I've been able to reserve 10 boxes, and it has also reserved at this moment already a batch number and a best before date. And because the system is now configured to work according to FIFO, so first expired, first out, so it will first allocate the stock that is the first one to expire. So it has allocated this stock. I can then select also from which shipping dock this will have to be sent, and then I can generate a pick list. And the moment that I generate a pick list, I make it available on the shop floor for picking. So I generate my pick list. The pick list is now created. I can have a number of pick and pack remarks here, associate a pick list type or a priority, and I can print this document. So I have now created this, and let us now have a look what this means. So I'm going now to sales, and then I have the various options of picking. So in this case, I'm taking the standard picking flow, and it tells me here that there is indeed a pick list for which I need to pick the goods. So I select the pick list, and it tells me that I need to go to this location, and that I need to take 10 boxes there of this batch number and this expiry date. Okay. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to use a picking card to put the goods on. So I select a movable location. Okay. And now I'm going to the location. Okay, and now I'm going to scan the product. So I have my barcode scanner, and I'm now going to scan the barcode that I've just shown you. Okay, again, it has now identified the product, but it wants to have a further confirmation. Namely, I have to specify now the serial numbers, either by scanning each serial number individually or by indicating a range. So let me take the range. So I'll take that and I'll scan the first batch, the first serial number. Okay, and then I select the second one. Okay, and the system asks me to confirm that I've entered 10 serial numbers. Is this correct? Yes. Okay, so the items are now picked, and if I go back to my inventory report here and I look at my storage location, so let's look at what I have on my movable location, it will show me that indeed here I have 10 boxes of this product on my movable location, and it has also registered which serial numbers are on the picking card. So in order to be able to process this now further, I go to my, we have another application running, which is our packing client. And on that packing client, I can now do the packing of these boxes. So I go to packing. I indicate the packing location that I want to use. So I'm going to use my packing line 1. And then I'm going to enter my card manually. So I'm saying I'm going to pick or to pack from this card. Okay. He gives me the possibility to select a logistic carrier if I want to. So in this case, I'll say no logistic carrier. And then he tells me there are 10 boxes of this product on this movable location, on this picking card. So I'm going to select all of them, and I'm going to add the items now to the logistic unit that I'm going to send to my customer. And again, now there is a new verification. The system will ask me to specify the serial numbers of the product that I'm going to pack. So again, I'm going here through the range. He says these are the serial numbers, and I have to confirm that by scanning again the serial numbers. And the next one, okay, you have entered 10 serial numbers. Is this correct? Yes. And now I have packed the product into a carton, for instance, and I can finish my logistic unit. And he tells me that I need to move it to my shipping dock 1, and he now generates also a shipping label for that. So here you see the shipping label from to, and you see here again the unique identification of the logistic unit that I have created, along with the information about the product. So global trade item number, the best before date, the quantity, and the batch number. If I now want to conclude the outbound logistics process, I'm going to sales now, and I'm going to do a shipping from my shipping dock 1 based on my pick list that I have just fulfilled. And then it tells me indeed for this pick list you need to ship a logistic unit, and it tells me it is this logistic unit. So I select the number. It has been loaded now on the delivery van or the truck, and it is adding a sales delivery note in SAP Business One, and at the same time it now also creates a delivery note as it is configured. So this is a configurable report, so you could tailor it to the needs of your customer or yourself. Okay, so if we now look at the delivery in SAP Business One, we look at delivery here now, we see that we have indeed done a delivery of 10 boxes of this product to this customer, and we have also can check which serial numbers we have delivered. And in this way we have now a full traceability from the receipt of product throughout the management of the product in the warehouse up to the delivery to the customer. And in order to check the traceability, we have a traceability report. So if we go to our reports, traceability report, we're going here now a forward traceability report of a particular item. Okay. Okay. So I check here. Okay. And then we will see, okay, for this, yeah, just a moment. I did not select the product, I think, yes. Okay, yes. So here we have the product. And for this product, we not only have all the batches that we have managed in our warehouse, we also have here also the serial number. So if we look at this, for instance, we see here that we have a goods receipt with a number of serial numbers. There have not been deliveries yet. We have here the movements, but let's take another batch. So here we have a goods receipt. We have here also deliveries that have been made, I think, yes. So here we have a number of deliveries, and in the deliveries we also have the track of which serial numbers we have delivered and to which customers. So you see here that we have a link to all the deliveries that we have made for the various customers, with each time the unique serial numbers listed in here. Also, all the movements that have occurred are documented in this report. So this was an overview of the capability of Produmex WMS in managing batch numbers along with serialized serial numbers. I hope this was informative for you, and I look forward to welcome you at another webinar in the next few weeks. Thank you very much for your attention.